Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
So we've got a little bit of rain starting to move in. We've had these very light showers rolling across parts of central Illinois here tonight, and we're going to continue to see that as we go throughout the course of this evening. So don't be surprised if you have to switch on the old windshield wipers a little bit, or if you're heading out to the back deck getting a few sprinkles. It is at least still fairly mild. Temperatures are in the mid and upper 50s still at this hour. We're going to see temperatures just kind of hovering into those 50s for much of tonight. The big story becomes the rest of the weekend, which will include a big drop-off with the temperatures, and there's potential for a few snowflakes. We'll show you that when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A murder suspect was released from custody too soon. The shooting victim's mother is now wondering why she wasn't told. Plus, a hit and run sent one person to the hospital. How the biker is doing and what family members are now asking.
And the state woke up to a new reality this morning, how Tier 3 COVID mitigations are going to change things.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Just beg and plead with Darian. Turn yourself in.
That's one mother's hope after the person accused of killing her son was accidentally released from custody. Good evening, I'm Paul Chikine.
And I'm Jessica Coons in for Jennifer. Authorities still haven't caught Darian White. He was released because of a miscommunication, and there's now a warrant out for his arrest. White was originally arrested last year in connection to the murder of 16-year-old David Sankey in Champaign. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is live in our newsroom tonight. Jamie, the victim's family here has to be upset about this.
That's right, Jessica. The mother of the victim says she's hoping White will turn himself in.
I can't eat. It's like, oh my God, I just can't. It's just so hard for me.
That's the emotion that has overwhelmed Yvonne Johnson for days after hearing the person suspected of killing her son was released.
I'm very depressed. I have a lot of anxiety going on.
In 2018, Yvonne Johnson's son, David Sankey, was shot in the head near his home in Champaign's Garden Hills neighborhood. Darian White, who was 19, and Jaquavion Fost, who was 22 years old, were both arrested in connection with that murder. But the Champaign County Jail says Darian White is no longer in custody.
I'm scared for my own safety.
The sheriff's office says there was a mix-up with paperwork while following COVID protocols, and White was released. It was a friend that called Johnson to let her know.
I was so shocked, like all the anxiety, everything in me just went like crying and kicking and just... It was just really terrible for me.
Johnson says she wanted to hear from authorities rather than a friend about what happened.
I didn't get a phone call. I wasn't notified. I was trying to figure out what that was about.
But she still trusts Champaign police, the state's attorney, and the detective handling Sankey's case.
This is not on them, Things happen. I know it happens. But somebody dropped the ball here.
She just wants justice for her son.
Darian White, surrender. Turn yourself in.
I just spoke with Darian White's attorney, Alfred Ivy, a little while ago. He has talked to White since he was released. He said White thought the case had been dismissed against him. The attorney says White said he would turn himself in, and here's what else he had to say.
I offer him the same thing that I offer all of my clients. Hey, if you don't feel safe, come with me and I'll walk you in. That's the offer that I made. That's the offer that I always make.
Ivy said he hasn't heard from White since that conversation. I called the jail this evening. They told me White was not in custody. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jamie, thank you. We have a follow-up for you tonight. A family is begging for answers after a crash sent a man to the hospital. This happened Tuesday night around 5:30.
Thomas Walniak was riding his motorized mountain bike on Town Center Boulevard near Binney's. A driver hit him and kept going. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. So, Courtney, how's he doing tonight?
Well, Paul, he's doing all right. He is in the hospital right now and has been undergoing surgeries. But even though he's out of the woods, his family fears he'll never be the same.
I received a phone call at close to midnight Tuesday night from the emergency room telling me that my brother was in an accident.
It's a call most of us hope we'll never get. Chrissy Abear found out her brother Thomas Walniak was hit Tuesday night while driving his motorized mountain bike.
The car was turning left in front of him, didn't stop, turned into one of the businesses right there.
Walniak was hit so hard that he flipped over their vehicle and fell onto the street. The driver never stopped.
His ankle is shattered in multiple places. His leg is broken 4 places. So he has at least 2 more surgeries. And then his left arm as well. He described it as it was in the shape of a Z.
His family lives in northern Illinois. They say it feels like they've been kept in the dark about what exactly happened.
It was very traumatizing to get that kind of news and to, be a couple of hours away. And yeah, we would just be grateful if somebody could help us piece this together.
It's very disheartening that a person would do that. Just unbelievable. I would never consider, somebody got hurt, you stop and render aid.
They're hoping anyone who saw anything, no matter how small, will report it.
Any witnesses, anything, we just want some kind of justice for him. He didn't deserve this.
Walniak's family told me his motorized mountain bike had lights on both the front and back. He thinks the vehicle that hit him was small and white, but that's all he remembers. Paul?
And hopefully that person responsible comes forward. Courtney, thanks. Here's another update. Champaign police arrested the man they say robbed an Indian restaurant on Wednesday. Gregory Gates was stopped by a patrol officer about a block away. Gates is said to have confessed to the robbery. Police searched his living area where they found a computer, charging court and $1,400 cash. Because of previous convictions, Gates faces up to 30 years in prison if convicted this time. Gates' bond is set at $50,000.
There's new information about the Rochester man who threatened Congressman Rodney Davis. Randall Tarr was sentenced to 2 years probation today. He'll also have to complete mental health treatment. He called Davis's office last November and threatened to shoot him. Davis and his family also have a no contact order against him. 2 more House Democrats announced they would not be voting for Michael Madigan to keep his seat as Speaker next session. That brings the total to 18 Democrats, which leaves Madigan 5 short of the 60 total he needs to keep the gavel. Only 1 other Democrat has announced intentions to run for House Speaker. Within the hour, Speaker Madigan released this statement saying, quote, "The decision on the next Speaker of the Illinois House will be made at a caucus after a full discussion of the issues facing our state and the qualifications of the candidates. I plan to be a candidate for Speaker, and today I confirmed that I continue to have support from a significant number of House Democratic caucus members." A special prosecutor has dropped a case against State Representative Carol Ammons. This move comes nearly 10 months after accusations of retail theft surfaced in January. 4 prosecutors determined there is insufficient evidence to charge Ammons with any crime. They reviewed documents, police reports, and security footage from the Carl Retail Auxiliary Boutique in Urbana. They were looking into an accusation that Ammons took an $80 purse from there. She has called the incident, quote, "a misunderstanding."
It's not a stay-at-home order. What new rules are in place across the state? Also tonight.
The last time the Illini won a game here in Lincoln was when Red Grange was still playing on the field. How Lovie Smith and his team are hoping to break a near 100-year-long streak.
All right, Kevin, what an absolute treat today was.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yes.
There's no wind.
I didn't want to come in this afternoon. It was too nice.
Who wants to go to work on a Friday?
That too.
That's everybody. Yeah, it was really nice today. High temperatures made it 67 degrees. How about that? The average should be in the upper 40s. I'll take a 19-degree above average day on a Friday, that's for sure. All right, readings are still there into the 50s right now, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about some rain and maybe even the first snowflakes of the season coming up.